Hey, welcome back to edtech. Today we are in part 2 of the tutorial for creating or building the product landing page for freeCodeCamp front-end web design certification. So this is part 2. In part 1, I had already covered some basics and which you can watch in the tutorial in part 1, and today I'll be continuing with that with the header section. After the header section, I finished the header section in last part, and also I did the clickable sections for the navbar, and today I'll be doing the hero for the header, the hero section for the header, in which you need to have the other part whereby you will be doing the subscribe button and also you enter your email address field, that is a form field which is already there in your task. So let's create that, and before that let's check our question. So you have passed 10 tests, and the next task we see here, okay, part 5 I'm not doing because for that I need to have content, so I cannot navigate yet. And part 6 also requires more content. I'll be doing in the next part. So right now I'll be doing the form part, which is in the hero of the hero header section. So question 7, task 7. My landing page has a form element with a corresponding ID is equal to form, and that is question 7. And question 8 also I'll be doing. Within the form there's an input field where with ID equal to email, where I can enter an email address. So question 7, 8. And also question 9, where they give that email input field should have a placeholder text to the user know what the field is for. Yeah, so these two things I'll be doing. And number 10 also, the email input field uses HTML5 validation to confirm that the entered text is an email address. So these 4 questions and tasks I'll be doing. Not to forget question 11, where it says there's a submit input button with corresponding ID equal to submit. So these sections I'll be doing. Let me see question 12. When I click the submit element, the email is submitted to the static page. Okay, using the freecodecamp.com email submit. So until 12 I'll be doing. Okay, let's get started. So from 7 to 12. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's go to our HTML field file. Okay, so after the header, we close the header in the last section, in the last part. So now let's go to make our hero section. Let's make our hero section. Let's start our hero section. Section class, section class is hero. Close this. Let's take it here. Okay, then you need to make a hero inner, because where you need to submit the form and all that, you need another field, right? So you make another div for that, div class hero inner, because hero you already have as the ID here, as a class here. Close this div. Always remember to close immediately. Okay, so here you go. Now inside this you need to make the hero header, which is a H2. So you can H1 will be too big, so you can make H1 or H2. I decided to go with H2. So I just write my brand name, Joanne Couture, close the H2. Okay. Now we make the form inside this div. We've already done the form element in my another tutorial. I'll include the link in the description below for doing the form tutorial, submit form tutorial. But here we just do a simple form to submit your email address. Form. Okay, the form ID according to the task. The form ID according to the task was form, if you remember in the question, right? And form ID is form. Then you have form action. Let me do it in separate lines so that you don't make a mistake. Action. Form action is, what is the form action? Remember the email address of the submission place, location of the freeCodeCamp mock address that they had provided, the URL. So action will be https freecodecamp.com freecodecamp.com-email. This is given in the task already. You can either copy from there, you can just write email-submit. Just copy. I just copied it from there, email-submit. Yeah, and then what else? So one is the ID, another one is the action. Then the other one, the task given is input. So the form details are there, ID is there, action is there. Okay, next I need to have I need to put an input, remember. So the input ID given was email, because this is for providing your email address. Name, obviously email, because this is for email purpose. What is the type for the input? Also email. This is for providing email, so you write that. And then what is the placeholder? It's already mentioned there. Enter. This is for entering your email address. Yeah, and then after that you need to write required. It says this is for validation. If you write required, and if you don't write your email address, it will not allow you to proceed. So that's the meaning of validation, required. So it is compulsory for you to do that. This is how you do. So required, and then close your input. This is self-closing, if you remember. Your input field is self-closing. Then I need a bit of space, so I write BR, forgetting a line. Then okay, then I need I need a paragraph where I need to place the button and all that, the submit button and all that. So P so I say over here input ID is submit, type, also this is submit. This is for submit button, so I write the input ID as submit, type as submit, and value You can write anything, but you can write submit also, but I'm writing subscribe. I'm writing subscribe. This has a class of button. So input, I can either self-close or I can even do this. Either ways, you can try out both. Right? Now now I'm done with my form. Okay, so you can see this here. Yeah, you can see this placeholder and you can see the subscribe, but I need a bit of styling for that. So I proceed here quickly. Before I check my test result, I just proceed and do my okay. What I do is I don't do my styling here on second thought. I want you to go and try out the styling yourself and come back to me. In my next tutorial, I'll do the styling for this. I think that's a better idea to make you more independent. So let me run the tests. I have passed all those tests, right? I have passed all those tests. Whatever I wanted to pass, so I've done my job. Now it's up to you to do the styling, but if you cannot do, come back to me. In any case, whether you do or not, I'll still do another tutorial just on the styling for this submit form and the hero section. Okay, so let's get going. See you in the next tutorial, next part of this tutorial. Stay subscribed. Stay subscribed, stay safe. I'll see you in the next part of the tutorial where I'll be doing the styling for this hero section. Until then, stay safe. If you haven't subscribed, do remember to subscribe so that you will get the first notification as soon as I publish the other parts.